And now it's time for a little something we like to call The World's Gone Mad. Yes, you know, the world has gone completely crazy when teenagers finally go out and get a job and discover what it means.
So yesterday, my 16-year-old daughter goes to work, and she frantically texts me when she gets there. She says, "Mom, I made a mistake. I read my schedule wrong. I have to work 5 days in a row. This is tragic."
The horror, working 5 days a week. Surely there's a law against that.
But I really don't want to have to work 5 days in a row. It shouldn't even be legal.
Meanwhile, Stephen F-Word Colbert, the unfunny TV host with the fondness for swear words who was fired last week and somehow seemed to blame Donald Trump, can at least take comfort in the fact that his entire fan base turned up en masse to protest against his show being cancelled. But the big question of this week was, of course, when is a person a racist and when are they simply an attractive girl wearing a pair of jeans? See if you can spot the difference. One of these girls is an incredibly wealthy superstar celebrity posing seductively in denim, and the other is, according to the crazy lefties, some kind of Nazi white supremacist purveyor of eugenics. Yes, the big scandal last week has, of course, been this American Eagle ad.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Yes, a pun about jeans, and the woke world is up in arms, losing its ever-loving mind.
Of course, American Eagle is spreading fascist propaganda. They choose a blue-eyed white woman with blonde hair talking about her good genes.
Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
Good genes used to mean racial purity in fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching fascist aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, trad wife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think this was an innocent ad, you have not been paying attention.
And yes, Sydney herself did thoughtfully explain the pun as she was getting dressed, just in case you were a bit slow.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Well, holy hyperventilating hyenas, racism, white supremacy and eugenics all got thrown into the manic lefty meltdown.
The Sydney Sweeney Aryan Eagle ad is not only xenophobic and racist, it's also scientifically inaccurate. She says genes often determine hair color and eye color. I'm sorry, often? That's literally what they do.
And a rapper called Doja Cat, among many others, decided to mock the ads.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
All of which is, of course, the very best advertising you can possibly get. And then came the inevitable woke boycott.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
Well, how about the threat from this nutty Pilates teacher?
If anyone from American Eagle who was involved in the creation of Sydney Sweeney's most recent advertisement booked into my Pilates class, I would give them the hardest exercise class that I was capable of doing on the lightest possible spring load with 0 breath cues.
I think any sane person would be giving that lady's torture chamber Pilates lessons a big miss, with or without the jeans ad, thanks all the same. According to the Daily Mail, American Eagle shares have soared and stock was up more than 11%, with the company pocketing more than $600 million in revenue in 24 hours. Mwah, perfect. But perhaps the only crime that was committed by the ad agency is that the idea wasn't even original. It's all been done before. For Calvin Klein, with Brooke Shields, back in the 1980s, of course.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. Occasionally, certain conditions produce a structural change in the gene, which will bring about the process of evolution.
Ah, yes, as I know from my ad agency days, you can never keep a good idea down. Another racism controversy that was sparked this week was when the singer Billie Alish made this comment at a gig in Ireland.
I am not from here, obviously, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you, and you're all just as tasty as me.
Not exactly a ringing endorsement of diversity and inclusion when you have a white Anglo-Saxon person saying it's nice to be around people who look like them. Is this racism? Or is this simply that many white people are fed up with being forced to apologise for their own genes? Or even having their own genes written out of their own history, such as this example of yet again a BBC drama playing fast and loose with actual history, with Jason Forbes being cast to play the role of an Anglo-Saxon nobleman in a new series about William the Conqueror in that ever so diverse and inclusive year of 1066. Personally, I have no problem with, and indeed I greatly enjoyed, the fantasy of the Bridgerton series, but to impose woke diversity nonsense into actual history is wrong and is sinister. But back to our tale of the genetic makeup of beautiful women. What do men think, for example, of women who may have altered their genetic makeup with an experimental gene therapy, also known as a COVID vaccine? Do men find vaccinated or unvaccinated women more attractive? One woman decided to find out.
She's a 10, but she's vaccinated.
Listen, if you made the decision once to get the jab, I'm not even going to hold that against you because there was so much societal pressure. Absolutely insane. If she got the double boost, I'm dropping her to a 7 because now she's just lacking the self-awareness. She's lacking the intelligence to learn from her mistakes.
So I guess the morale of this story is don't mess with your genes or your genes. Still, I often wonder, could Trump derangement syndrome, commonly known as TDS, actually be a genetic disorder? In my hypothesis, at some point back millions of years ago, when we were all crawling out of a swamp, a certain bombastic orange creature emerged and insisted on taking over. And this upset the rest of the ghastly, woke, swamp-dwelling, miserable little creatures. And now, eons later, many individuals still contain those TDS genes. I've learned how to spot them. The TDS gene is often associated with a desire to interfere in things you have no control over, such as this young liberal woman.
You need to stop kidnapping people off the street.
100%.
You just take him away when I'm trying to call his family for him.
We're making an arrest. You need to stay
Show
back
me
from
your
our
arrest
way.
warrant then.
Uncontrollable fits of rage and anger are also commonly associated with the TDS gene, as we can see in these two examples.
It's time for another food bank haul. What did my family of... No! 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 Because hundreds of thousands of people are starving!
Guess what? I can kill Nazis here.
Who is a Nazi?
All of y'all.
I'm a Nazi?
Anybody who supports Donald Trump, you support Nazis. How can you not be a Nazi?
Have you killed a Nazi yet?
Ha, ha, ha! And an undeserved feeling of moral superiority comes naturally to those cursed with TDS genes.
Is there anything you would change about the UK?
Nigel Farage? I'd say get rid of Nigel Farage and anyone who's right-wing.
Plus, a desperate need to display frivolous bright colours is often associated with the TDS gene. And finally, here's a young woman with very strong Gen X genes.
Nirvana was the #1 band in the world when we were teenagers. Like, it was just like a cool time. Oh God, another thing that was crazy about Generation X, I don't even know if you can talk about this anymore, but we did this thing. It is so weird. Okay. It was called critical thinking. And it's so crazy. So basically what you would do, this is like in the old days, you would listen to both sides of a story or a topic or an issue, and then you would make your own, this is crazy, you'd make your own opinion that would then guide you through life.
Who'd have thought of it? Yes, it truly is a world gone mad.